by North American Credit Union, a proud sponsor of the UHS AA. This 4 o'clock game features the Rich Rebels and the Bryce Valley Mustangs. Let's meet this evening's starting lineup, starting for the designated home team, Bryce Valley Mustangs. Starting for the Bryce Valley, the guard, number 14, Tori Nelson. The guard, number 1, Kelsey Floyd. The forward, number 15, Macy Brinkerhoff. Number 3, and forward, Brooklyn Siren. And center, number 34, Oakley Johnson. Starting lineup of the designated home team. Rich Rebels. A guard for number 1, Makina Stacy. A guard for number 5, Allie Valentine. A forward for number 2, Sage Keeney. For number 35, forward, Casey Cornia. And number 23, the center, Elena Brown. Bryce Valley is coached by Tyson
Tingy, 5, Allie Walentine, 23, Ellie Brown, and 35, J.C. Cornia. That's junior, junior, senior, senior, junior in this starting lineup. Sydney Hatch will come in at about the 4-minute mark of the first quarter. We'll also see a few others come off the bench as well for Rich. Here's an interesting side note, Mike. Rebels number 1, McKenna Stacy, and the Bryce Valley boys, Trace and Roberts.
I heard
they got a little something going on.
That's
right. I hear that he's going to ask her to prom at Bryce Valley.
Wow, that's a little bit of a travel for prom.
And this is like blasphemy, but she was wearing a Bryce Valley jersey a couple weeks ago at the Region 20 tournament. This has been your South Central Communications GigaFast pregame report. Sign up for 1 gig internet today. Get a gig, get going. Stacy drives, splits through everybody, misses with the left hand, and the rebound.
Oakley Johnson with that rebound.
Rebels miss an opportunity to get on the board early. Bryce Valley, the road blacks, Rebels in the home whites. Bryce Valley attacking right to left.
Looks like Stacy's going to face guard Brooklyn Siret and try to shut down Bryce Valley's second leading scorer. They're in the man defense, but she's way away from the ball, defending way closer than you normally would in a man defense.
And Sage Tingy manned up on Oakley Johnson, Bryce Valley's other leading scorer. Cornia gets beat just a little bit and hip check foul. JC picks up her first personal. Just underway, our broadcast today is brought to you in part by Gary Tusher CPA for all your accounting needs. Gary Tusher in Montpelier, Idaho. To the right side.
Macy pulls up, got it to go, had that fake, got the defender in the air, and waited for it to fly by and then put it in.
Brinkerhoff hits the 15-footer from the right angle, and Bryce Valley leads 2-0. Rebels beat Escalante pretty easily, 40-16 yesterday. Bryce Valley again, the win over Wendover. It's 36-13. Stacy at the top of the key. Bryce Valley, have they played a lot of man defense, zone, just whatever they need to?
No, they usually play a man defense. 3-point shot on the way. Good from the Savage Apparel 3-point line.
Stacy puts Rich on top with the 3 from the top of the key. Splashed it through. McKenna, about a 33% 3-point shooter. Floyd to her right. Free throw line cut off there. Follows the screen. Couple of bodies on the floor and a blocking foul. Allie Walentine. Rich yesterday had to adjust to a less physical game against Escalante to avoid fouling some players out. They may have to readjust to a little more physical. Inbound to midcourt. Sage Tingy picks it up for Rich.
She's fouled by Tori Nelson.
With some early fouls as these teams may be trying to get those early jitters out a little bit, figure out how physical they can be. This first quarter brought to you in part by J-Bar Excavation, the team, the tools, and the experience for your excavation project. Tingy inbounds to Brown. Ellie had a big day yesterday, 8 points and close to double-digit rebounds in the win over Escalante. Wallenstein, right corner. Stacy fakes the three, drives by the D, hangs, scoops, hits, and the foul. McKenna Stacy. Stacy this season, about a 75% free throw shooter on the year, and this will be free throws close to 100 attempts on the season.
It's a great baseline attack by Stacy. A fake, got the defender in the air, unable to convert on her free throw.
And Floyd chases down the rebound for Bryce Valley. Rebels on top 5-2 after Bryce Valley scored first. Hand off down to the left side, up off the glass, nope. McKenna Stacy leads the team in rebounding as well, pulls down her first.
Brooklyn Syrup picks the pocket of Stacy, and it's knocked out of bounds. And that's when Rich's coach is asking for a travel, but as you slide across the floor, you don't have possession of the ball, and it's not a travel. She traveled probably 4 or 5 feet moving with the ball, but she's just sliding.
Yep, and if you slide, as long as you don't roll over or turn, you can slide all the way to 94 feet down the floor, hypothetically, without a travel. That is the rule of traveling. So 5:48 left in the first. Rebels have turned it over once. McKenna Stacy with all 5 of the Rebels' points. Bryce Valley attacking right to left if you're tuned in online at live.ksl.com, mylocalradio.com, or if you're listening on 98.3 FM in the northeast Utah, southwest Wyoming area.
Bounce pass behind, trying to catch Oakley Johnson as she cuts to the basket. Great defense that time by Tingy, and that ball goes knocked out of bounds.
And Tingy, Coach Lundgren teases her about her long fingers, sometimes calls her lizard fingers. She has real long, and that she gets in passing lanes quite a bit with those. Stacy drives, dishes off to Tingy, mishandles the dribble, outside, Wallenstein, right wing three, no, over the top. Floyd the rebound, good box out by Floyd.
You know, you'll look at Kesley Floyd and you'll think, oh, what's she doing in there? But she's the second leading rebounder on the Mustangs team.
Syrat on the left wing, to her right, nowhere to go. Brinkerhoff drives baseline, and another blocking foul. This is J.C. Cornia's second.
You know, and JC's just like, I'm trying to get down there. She just got to get down and block that baseline quicker, get her foot on the baseline, and that wouldn't have been a foul, but she was moving down.
That brings Sydney Hatch in, at least to the scorer's table. I'll say Brinkerhoff was in the act of shooting and hits the first free throw.
Brinkerhoff at the foul line, sponsored by Garfield Memorial Hospital, Penguich Drug, and Zions Bank.
Brinkerhoff, another free throw coming as Hatch checks in for Rich and swishes it through.
Macy with all 4 of the Bryce Valley Mustangs points so far in this quarter.
Stacy across the timeline. Rebels attacking left to right at mylocalradio.com and live.ksl.com. Wallenstein, step back three-pointer, nope, off the window, rebound to the sideline, and Wallenstein draws the, ooh! Maybe she leaned that we couldn't see from this angle, but she looked planted in that spot.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to see if they're squared up and she could have moved. I don't know. You never know. That block charge can go either way.
Yep.
Just flip a coin.
That's right. So Wallenstein picks up her second, and that brings TJ McKee, a sophomore, in off the bench. On the right side.
Johnson holds right wing.
Switched pivot feet, no whistle. Coach Lundgren wanted the travel, didn't get it. Brinkerhoff on the left wing, and she does travel.
She takes that little hop as she takes off.
Bryce Valley with 3 early turnovers. And Rich leads narrow, 5-4. This game brought to you in part by Rich County 4-H, empowering young people with the skills to lead for a lifetime, and by the Christopher Staple family, Sunshine Staple, and the family wishing Rich good luck. Stacy on the left wing. To Brown at the free throw line. Back to Stacy. Wanted the three, but Floyd out on her. Knocks the ball away. Stacy splits those defenders. Dishes off to Hatch. Pretty pass, easy two.
Nice pass down into Hatch.
Stacy's become a master at that this season. Finding that passing lane as she draws the defense in and dishes off. Nelson down to the right baseline. Floyd bounces into the middle. Oakley Johnson can't get that to go. Rebound. McKee tips it to Hatch.
Oakley rushed that shot. She's usually got a nice high arch, and she just kind of almost shot-putted that one. Didn't have the arch it had. Not quite sure what the defender.
Tingy rolls on a pick and roll. Instead, Stacy shoots the three and buries it. 10-4, Rich up top.
8 early points for McKenna Stacy.
T7 propane and Woodruff three-pointer for McKenna Stacy. Oakley Johnson cuts to the right side, misses over the window or off the window, and Sage Tingy the Rebel rebound. Got to remind myself we're also on the radio right now on 98.3 FM, so get a little more of a play-by-play call like radio style, which is what we might get here. Eliana Brown on the elbow, fouled from behind by Macy Brinkerhoff, her first. 14 fouls on Rich, 3 on Bryce Valley. 10-4, Rich leads on the Station on Main scoreboard. 2:40 left to play in the first quarter. Stacy to inbound from the baseline. Brown to Tingy on the left wing. Back to Stacy in the corner. McKenna drives in, ball stripped away. Rebels turn it over for a second time. And up court, off the leg of Macy Brinkerhoff, Rebel ball.
Into the game, Amanda Shanoff and Kristen Stewart for the Mustangs.
TJ inbounds to Stacy. Again, the Rebels attacking left to right. Stacy dribbles across the big S for Snow College here in Richfield, the Sevier Valley Center. McKee on the right wing to Brown at the free throw line. Turns to her left, tripped up, loses the dribble, but Tingy's right there for Rich. Hand to Stacy on the wing. Tingy drives in. Puts it up, misses too short, fight for the board, and Brinkerhoff has it for Bryce Valley. Stacy defending high, and Brooklyn Syrett able to dribble past her. Hand off to Brinkerhoff, into the lane, fires left corner. Back outside, good ball movement. Floyd for three, knocks it down.
Floyd with a security title, three-pointer.
10-7, Bryce Valley within 3. Stacy across the timeline. Looks to her left, screened by Sydney Hatch, right side, into the corner, and a charging foul against the Rebels. McKenna Stacy, her first. Kendall Staple checks into the ball game. Coach Lundgren shouts to Stacy, hey, back off on the defense a little bit. That's one, we don't need two. Brinkerhoff up across the timeline, right to left. Bryce Valley, chance to tie or make it a one-point game here.
Backside.
Great pass backside to Brinkerhoff. She misses and then fouls on the rebound attempt.
Coach Brinkerhoff walks down, grabs a drink of water out of frustration. He's like, I'm just going to walk down and get a drink and regroup after that.
So Stacy and the Rebels leading by just 3 near the end of the first quarter. To her right, TJ looking inside, lobs underneath for Brown. Good pass over the top. Brown finishes.
No backside help there. If you're in a full front, you're counting on that backside help, and it did not come.
And Brown had a nice day yesterday with 8 points in the win over Escalante. Under a minute to play first quarter. Rich up by 5, 12-7. Lob it inside, and McKee gets a fingertip on it. Controlled by Kendall Staple. 5th turnover of the quarter for Bryce Valley. Stacy up the right side. Hands back to McKee. TJ wanted the 3, lobs up top. Hatch pulls it in with one hand. Brinkerhoff strips it away out of bounds off of Rich. Mustangs basketball. The Rebels turn it over for a 3rd time.
Oakley Johnson checks in for Brinkerhoff. Brinkerhoff has those 2 fouls. And Oakley's usually the one in there to give that backside help or playing defense on a Sydney Hatch. So Coach Brinkerhoff gets her back in the game after a short breather.
Rebels applying a little full court pressure, and that yields a turnover. It's just kind of a hesitant half-court trap, and Bryce Valley throws it away for the 6th time in the quarter. Considering that 6 turnovers, they feel fortunate to be down by just 5, Mike.
Yeah, missed shots by the Rebels and a couple turnovers by the Rebels have allowed the Mustangs to hang in there.
13 seconds left in the first quarter. Rebels playing for a final shot. 10-9, Stacy with it. Looks up to the scoreboard. Starts to her right. 5, 4, 3 to Staple. Left corner 3. Off the window, not quite. And the horn sounds as Oakley Johnson pulls down the rebound. At the end of one, Rebels lead 12-7 on live.ksl.com and my local in beautiful Bear Lake. Town and Country Realty by Town of Laketown. The mayor and town council wishing the Rebels good luck. And by Thompson Ranch and the Lazy BT brand. Bryce Valley with it to start this second quarter.
From the Bryce Valley area, Joe Dalton Auto Body, JT Steel, Royal Express Transmission, and Alton Coal Development, all helping bring these games to you in we're simulcasting on like 4 or 5 different platforms.
Rebels switch into a 2-3 zone defense. Brown has Kesley Floyd cut up underneath her and get position for that rebound, and then Brown fouls her as she comes down. Floyd, you mentioned her positioning on the rebounding. That was it right there. That was all Kesley Floyd.
And I don't know if it's because she's a little smaller, she can kind of sneak in front, but she has a nose for being in the right spot at the right time. Johnson in the paint, jumper for 2.
So Johnson gets her first points of the game, and Bryce Valley climbs to within 3, 12-9. Second quarter action brought to you in part by Old Chicago Pizza in Logan. Rebels into Sage Tingey looking for her, and Syret tips it away. Rebels trying to force it inside, and Syret with the good defense.
Yeah, and a bounce pass might have got there, but with Brooklyn Syret's long right arm up in front, that lob pass is not going to get through that.
Brinkerhoff to Johnson on the right wing. Syret cutting. Stacy defending. Up to the top, Tori Nelson, left wing. Brinkerhoff holding. Free throw line, high post. Syret kicks it back across. Fake shot by Nelson, and then she misses on the right side. Rebel rebound, nope, tipped it out of bounds to Bryce Valley. TJ McKee checks back in for Rich. Got McKee, Tingey, Hatch, Brown, and Stacy on the floor. Brinkerhoff, Floyd, Nelson, Johnson, and Syret on the floor. Syret receives the inbound pass. 6:50 left, second quarter. Brought to you in part by the town of Woodruff. Mayor and town council of the town of Woodruff. Johnson on the right wing. Holding, finally looks. Give and go, underneath, right side. Misses over the top. Ellie Brown the rebound for Rich.
Ellie Brown doing a great job defensively on Oakley, just staying straight up, causing her to alter her shot a little bit. That's usually a shot Oakley Johnson hits.
Stacy gives to Brown, back to Stacy. She looks, Coach Lundgren calls the play, and Rich resets. 6:15 left, second quarter. Tingey on the left wing, fakes a shot, tries to drive in, steps past Syret, puts it up and misses, and Oakley Johnson pulls in the rebound for Bryce Valley. Good move by Tingey, just couldn't get that shot to fall. 12-9, Rebels lead by just 3. Facing the best defense they've seen and maybe since they faced Bryce Valley to start the season.
Brinkerhoff drives the lane, scoops it up for 2 points.
That brings Bryce Valley within 1, 12-11. Brinkerhoff with 6 points in the ball game. Stacy to the top of the key, pulls up for 3, and off the heel of the basket, no. Johnson, the rebound, travels and gets whistled for it. As she tried to get away from a little bit of traffic. So Rich will inbound from the baseline. Into TJ McKee in the left corner. She'll dribble and kick it across to Brown. Lob inside looking for Stacy. Floyd kind of pushes her out away from being able to receive that pass, and Rich turns it over.
3-on-2, fast break opportunity. Brooklyn Syret right side tries to step around Sydney Hatch. And I think if Sydney holds her ground, she's okay, but she moved to the right as well. Gets called for that block.
So Brooklyn Syret to the line. Hey, we're getting, I just got a text that folks can't see the left side of the screen some of the time. Or the left side of the court, I should say. Syret hits the first free throw, her first points of the game. That ties the score at 12. Brooklyn averages 11 points a game and has a second free throw coming and knocks it down.
Bryce Valley's first lead of the game.
13-12. Bryce Valley on top. 5:10 left in the second quarter. Stacy starts right, back left, outside. McKee fakes the 3, dribbles to her right, bounces to Tingey. Inside, she finds Hatch across the lane to Brown. Left hand layup, got it. Rich right back on top, 14-13. That bucket brought to you by Saby Trucking, Scott and Diana Saby.
I have that as the first points Rich has scored in this second quarter, three minutes in.
Correct. Johnson on the right wing holding. Hatch giving her space. Up top to Floyd. Left wing, Brinkerhoff. To her left, through some contact, catches her own blocked shot. Dishes off, and is that Syret?
Brooklyn Syret has a great heads-up play. That ball's blocked. Macy Brinkerhoff reaches behind herself and then somehow had the composure to get that to Brooklyn, and Brooklyn makes the basket.
Great hustle by Brinkerhoff. Stacy dribbles to the free throw line, floats and misses. Floyd and Johnson fight for the rebound. Floyd comes up with it. In some trouble, trying to find a pass and gets it off to Nelson. And Coach Brinkerhoff takes a timeout. We'll take one as well. Utah High School Sportscast production of state basketball on live.ksl.com and KTTA. (15-14). Bryce Valley with the lead. 4 minutes, 3 seconds left in the second quarter. Rich with just 2 points in the period. Bryce Valley has outscored Rich 8-2 here in the second. Stacy pokes the ball away from Brinkerhoff. TJ chases it down and saves it to Tingy. Bryce Valley, one of their problems in the first quarter was turnovers. They had 8 of them. That's just the second here in the second. Stacy up top. Bryce Valley may have switched to a 1-3-1. Nope, Kesley Floyd staying with Stacy across the top. McKenna dribbles to her left, finds TJ right wing. She's a good three-point shooter, but Nelson too quick on the closeout. Tingy looks inside, pass too high for Brown, and she runs into Oakley Johnson coming on the help defense, so she couldn't get up to it.
It's a great job by Oakley sliding down. And that's your job as a defender, slide down and be there. She's entitled to that space as well, and just unfortunate for the Rebels that goes out of bounds off the
Rich with
fingers.
3 turnovers here in this second quarter. That matches their turnovers in the first quarter. Bryce Valley leading 15-14. Brinkerhoff on the right wing. Rebels in a zone defense. And Stacy comes up with the steal, brought to you by Rich County Government. She heads up court. Nelson reaches in, fouls her. Stacy tries to put into a shooting motion, but won't get that call. No continuation here. Tori Nelson's second personal foul, and Bryce Valley's 5th team foul. Allie Wallentyne checks back in. Went out earlier with 2 fouls. Stacy to inbound from the baseline. Looks for Hatch to McKee on the left corner. Back to Stacy. Thought about a deep three, but passed it up. Under 3 minutes to play, second quarter. A low-scoring defensive battle. Rebels with just 2 points in the quarter. Stacy, right wing to Wallentyne. AWOL into the paint. Drives, floats, and knocks it down. Wallentyne's first bucket puts Rich back on top, 16-15. Bucket brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Need a repair? Take it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair.
This possession for the Mustangs brought to you by Wilson Orthodontics, Bryce Canyon Pines, and Red Ledges Inn.
Right corner, Syret. Give and go with Johnson. One dribble up off the window. Misses short, but she's fouled. And Johnson will head to the free throw line.
These free throws being brought to you by Bryce Canyon City, Bryce Country Cabins, and the Stage Stop Station, the new Sinclair there in Tropic.
Johnson's first free throw off the right side.
Johnson usually a very good free throw shooter.
Free throws also brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. For all your real estate needs in the Bear Lake Valley, visit bearlakerealty.com. Cornea, Hatch, and Wallentyne all with 2 fouls apiece for Rich. Hatch takes a breather as Johnson hits the second free throw and ties the score at 16. Johnson has 3 points. Bryce Valley's outscored Rich 9-4 here in the second quarter. Wallentyne on the right wing. Staple, left wing, Stacy fakes the three, drives up off the window, too strong. Cornea the offensive board, and she's fouled from the front or from behind. We'll see who they call it on. Johnson was, I think, in front.
They give that to Amanda Chenoth. That's a good break for the Mustangs. It looked like that contact came more from the backside, which would have been on Amanda.
So J.C. Cornea, it's just that one down on the floor. Goes to the free throw line to shoot 2 and can't get the first off the back iron. Cornea, a bit of a streaky free throw shooter, but overall this season, 53%. Rebels as a team, 61%. These free throws are brought to you by the town of Randolph, by Epic Recreation for all your rentals in Bear Lake. Visit epicrecreation.net, and by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Count on us to care. Cornea hits the second. Rebels lead 17-16. Timeout. We'll be right back on live.ksl.com and mylocalradio.com. Good one on our hands, Mike.
Absolutely. We couldn't ask for more.
2:05 left in the second quarter. Bryce Valley with the basketball, trailing by 1. They've outscored Rich 9-5 in this second quarter. Syret to Floyd. Left corner. Rebels in a man-to-man defense. Floyd holding. Dribbles once to her right, gives to Brinkerhoff. Welcome, you tuned in on KTTA on mylocalradio.com, live.ksl.com, or 98.3 FM in Southwest Wyoming, Northeast Utah area. Syret, big screen by Oakley Johnson, and the pass on the pick and roll picked off by Rich.
And then she loses the handle. Allie Wallentyne tried to stop and spin, reverse pivot, and just lost the ball out of bounds.
Rebels average just, I think it's about 10, almost 11 turnovers per game. They've already got 7. Haven't faced a defense this good in a while. On the left wing, Brooklyn Syret to Brinkerhoff. She hands to Nelson. 3-man weave, back to Syret, drives, floats, and can't get it to go. Ellie Brown, the Rebel rebound. Stacy, with just 62 seconds left to play in the first half, hands to Wallentyne. A-Wall, the staple on the right wing. Bryce Valley back into a man-to-man to Stacy at the free throw line. Turns, drives through the defense, a lot of contact, no foul. Ball loose, and boy, more contact, no foul.
And one contact was one way, and the other one was probably the other, and so they just let him play. But it was a great block by Johnson in the middle of that.
Stacy comes up, rubbing the back of her head a little bit and moving her jaw back and forth. 30 seconds left in the first quarter, or in the first half. Rich on top by 1. Brinkerhoff on the left wing, steps back for the long 2 and misses short. Cornea with the Rebel rebound. Good box out on Oakley Johnson. Stacy looking to push the tempo up the right side, but good defense by Bryce Valley to get back and in position. 12, 11, 10. Stacy backs it out to Cornea on the right wing. Looks inside for Brown. Back out to Stacy. 6, 5, 4. Staple to Wallentyne. 3, 2. Syret picks Wallentyne's pocket, and they dive to the floor in a jump ball as time expires in the first half. And Rich leads by a narrow, skinny point, 17-16 on this Utah High School Sportscast production of state basketball on live.ksl.com and KTTA. Well, our apologies on that little bit of a break there, some silence, dead air, if you will, on the stream and on KADQ FM. Had to switch out some equipment, some hard drive with our equipment and get things going again. Hopefully that fixes it. Dave Tebbs, thanks for working on that, and good work. Rebels have it to start third quarter action, brought to you by Rich County Government and by the town of Laketown.
High screen, and as McKenna Stacy comes, or not McKenna,
Sage Tingey
comes off that screen. Oakley Johnson steps over to switch, and there's a lot of contact, and the foul's called.
Wallenstein receives the inbound from Stacy. McKenna dribbles to her right, or to her left, picks up the dribble, hands to Wallenstein. Awal backs it out. Rich, not a lot of movement against this man defense. Wallenstein drives through the D. She's knocked to the floor from behind. Nelson doesn't like the call, but just picked up her third. Wallenstein went down hard and comes up limping.
Hopefully she's okay. She's able to get off under her own power, but she's walking really gingerly on that left foot.
You can see why Tori Nelson responded the way she did. She must not have made contact. The foul on Oakley Johnson, my mistake.
2 quick fouls on Oakley, and Oakley needs to be careful because Bryce Valley needs her on the floor.
Stacy into Cornea. TJ McKee just came in for Allie Wallenstein, who's down at the end of the bench being looked at by the trainer. She says she's okay, just, I think, bonked her knee on the hardwood.
There was quite a thud when she hit the ground, and that's probably what it was.
McKee for 3. Yes, TJ McKee, big-time three-pointer for Rich. Brought to you by Bear Lake Physical Therapy, helping Rebels get back in the game since 1998. Rich up 20-16, 7:01 left to play in the third. Syret left side to Brinkerhoff. Last time these teams met, Rich won 42-37. That was on this floor back in early, mid-November, right? The 1A preview.
Yeah.
Right wing, Syret looking inside, finds Johnson. Oakley, double team comes, kicks it back out to Syret. Rebels in a man-to-man defense. Floyd to her left to Brinkerhoff. Rebels switch on the defense. That leaves Brown defending Macy, who dribbles to her right, scoops a wild one up and misses badly.
Yeah, that's probably not the shot Coach Brinkerhoff's looking for. I think Macy's thinking, well, I'm out of control, I'm going out of bounds. I might as well throw it at the basket and see if something will stick.
Tingey dribbles right to the free throw line. Cut off there, gives back to McKee. TJ hands to Brown. Ellie looking inside for JC, but good help side from the back by Kesley Floyd. TJ again looking inside, but the help side defense inches over there, and McKee decides not to toss it in. 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Rich leads by 4, 20-16. On the Garden City scoreboard. Garden City, where families play in beautiful Bear Lake, the Caribbean of the Rockies. Visit Garden City today. Inside to Stacy, turns too strong off the window, gets her own rebound, and she's fouled on the putback. Rebels were out-rebounded 13-8 in that first quarter. That's a credit to Bryce Valley because Rich generally a very good rebounding team. And Bryce Valley.
That's a second foul on Kesley Floyd. 3 quick fouls in the second half on the Mustangs.
Rebels attacking the hoop a little bit more here in this second half to start. As McKenna Stacy hits the first with a swish. Free throws brought to you by McKay Frankham Dental Services at reasonable rates for the whole family at 170 Arrowhead Drive in Evanston, and by Jimmy John's of Evanston, Wyoming. Jimmy John's, where fresh and fast meat, 113 Front Street in Evanston. Stacy swishes them both.
This possession by the Bryce Valley Mustangs brought to you by Bryce Canyon Subway, Cannonville Town, Canyon Trail Rides, and Clark's and Rustler's Restaurant.
Syret to her left. Rebels on a 4-0 run. A couple of free throws and a 5-0 run, isn't it? A couple of free throws and that three-pointer by TJ McKee. Syret on the left wing. McKee defending on Syret. Boy, I tell you, Bryce Valley did a great job. We talked about their defense some. They shut down Wendover yesterday, holding the Wildcats to, 13 points?
Yeah, they 4 points in the first half for Wendover.
And Leslie Luna, who'd been averaging 17, 20 points a game. You guys hold her to 3.
20, yeah,
that's incredible. No doubt. No surprise they're holding Rich to just 22 points midway through the third quarter. Stacy steps back to deep 3 and misses. Oakley Johnson, no, that was
Macy Brinkerhoff.
Thank you. Bryce Valley has the basketball. Stacy out high defensively on Syret. Bounce to Nelson. Torrey gets to the baseline, tries to kick it back out, and Stacy is clothesline after a whistle. And it'll be Bryce Valley basketball. the foul, T.J. McKee. That initially was what loosened the ball up for Stacy to pick it up. So the foul gives Bryce Valley the inbound play from the baseline. They lob it in deep. Johnson gives to Syret. I know you probably, when you're at Bryce Valley games, most of the time you're watching the action on the floor as Tori Nelson drives and misses. Oakley Johnson the offensive board, and Stacy fouls on the putback. So, but if you ever get a chance just to watch Tyson Brinkerhoff coach,
oh yeah,
it's pretty fun. It's an interesting thing.
He's a very, like, he commands the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's trying to dictate the plays, and it's worked well for him over the years, but he is an interesting coach to watch. Henryville Town, JCI Billing, and the Pizza Place. Speaking of Coach Brinkerhoff, he and his wife and his brother-in-law and sister-in-law own the Pizza Place there in Tropic. If you're ever in Tropic, you want a great pizza.
Oakley Johnson at the free throw line hits 2, 22-18. Rebel lead dips to 4. That was McKenna Stacy's second personal foul. Rebels with 2 team fouls. Bryce Valley with 3. TJ on the right wing, holding. McKee looking across, nothing there. Wanted something to be there, but defense too good. This fundamentally sound Bryce Valley defense. Stacy holding up top. Rebels third place the last 2 years. Looking to get to the championship game for the first time in a while. To McKee, out to Tingy, long 2, left wing, over the top, rebound tipped, and Kesley Floyd has it for Bryce Valley. Tingy hounding, Floyd dribbles up, gets into some opening space and gives back to Syret. Brooklyn to her right, gives to Floyd. Kesley looking inside, nothing there. Brinkerhoff around to Syret, left wing. Rebels in a zone defense.
Yeah, they've played man most of the game. They've switched to the zone.
And just about yields a steal, but Syret keeps possession away from Stacy. 3.5 left in the third quarter. Syret around the top and lowers the shoulder, and Stacy draws the offensive foul. It wasn't enough, but Stacy beat her to that spot, and Syret picks up her first. Wallenstein checks back in for Rich. Little gingerness on that left leg. Sydney Hatch back into the game as well. They both have 2 fouls. Stacy to the top of the key. Dribbles right. Runs into Johnson. Kicks it out to Wallenstein. To Hatch. Stacy tries to spin on Johnson and goes into the middle. Tori Nelson, reaches in. Jump ball.
It's a great hustle play by Nelson. Just reaches in. That ball's only exposed for a split second. She reaches in and ties up Stacy.
Quick hands for Tori Nelson, the sophomore. And a good play. Brinkerhoff, Rebels showing some pressure. Half court, a little bit of a trap. It yielded a turnover a couple of times in that first quarter. Brinkerhoff around to Syret on the right wing. Tingy gets in a little close. And then Wallenstein, a blocking foul as Syret goes into her. That's Allie's third personal foul. She just got back into the game. Coach Lundgren will keep Wallenstein in there with 3 personal fouls. Rebels with 3 team fouls. Bryce Valley looking to inbound, lob it deep to Nelson. Tingy out high on her defensively. Giving her space, Nelson looks left and gives to Syret. Third quarter action, Rebels up by 4. To Nelson on the left wing, bounces inside. The ball gets away from Johnson, and Nellie Brown picks it up.
That pass just a little low. You know, when you're the big in there on that low post, the last thing you want is a pass at your ankles.
Tough
below
to go down
the knees,
and get that,
it's
right?
tough to get down there, especially if someone's leaning on you a little bit.
Wallenstein, right corner. Stacy drives by Floyd, up with the right hand, can't get it, but she's fouled. Oakley Johnson came in late, and I think she's the one that provided the contact, her third foul. And a lot of times those low passes are at a bad angle, so it's a skip angle rather than a bounce angle. So Stace,
Oakley Johnson's frustrated with that. She came in straight up, but she did cause the contact with her lower body. They're going to call that.
Stacy swishes the first. Bear Lake Realty free throw. Visit BearLakeRealty.com to work with the best if you need realty in the Bear Lake Valley. BearLakeRealty.com. Also by Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Rolling Kennedy, your Auto Farm at Auto Farm Chevrolet, a community-driven dealership. Stacy knocks them both down. 24-18, Rich up by 6.
I have Stacy 4 of 4 in this third quarter from the foul line, 4 of 5 in the game.
Rebels only have 7 points in the quarter, 4 of those from the free throw line, but for Bryce Valley, just 2 points in the quarter. Oakley Johnson's 2 free throws.
Yeah, Bryce Valley not getting to the rim.
We've talked a lot about Bryce Valley's defense, and Rich, a very good defense as well.
Yeah, they're 2 of the lowest, the best defenses in the state, allowing the fewest points.
I think, yeah, Wendover coming into the tournament was 1, Bryce Valley 2, Rich 3, if I remember right. Turnover by Bryce Valley, timeout on the floor. 24-18, Rebels up by 6. It was a 1-point lead at the half, but Rich has only scored 7 in this third quarter. But for Rebels, the good news, they've held Bryce Valley to 2. That's the bad news for the Mustangs.
Bad news for the Mustangs.
Stacy goes high post to Hatch, pivots around, back to Stacy on the right wing, tries to drive on Syret. And against most teams, Stacy can get that drive, but not against this Bryce Valley defense.
And Bryce Valley switched defenders. They moved Brooklyn on to Stacy.
Staple with a dangerous pass, gets it through to Hatch. She'll go back outside. Stacy misses on the running floater, and Bryce Valley with the rebound. Syret pushing, Wallenstein back on the D, and tips the ball away. It's out of bounds. Rebels tip it out last, or touched it last, so Bryce Valley basketball. 1:25 left in this third quarter. Bryce Valley with just 2 free throws in the period. As far as points, Floyd into Brinkerhoff. Macy bounces or steps to her left and kicks it to Oakley Johnson. And one of the strengths for Bryce Valley, obviously, they're so patient and disciplined offensively. Most of the time, they're going to play for a good high percentage shot. Don't be surprised if they take the final shot of the quarter here with still 65 seconds left in the third. Syret up to the top of the key. Rebels stay in a man-to-man defense. They've gone back and forth, man to zone. Backdoor, Syret goes up, receives the pass, shoots, and it can't quite get it in over the top of Stacy. Good defense. McKenna up across the timeline. Crosses over into the lane, looking for the left hand, and Kesley Floyd. Bryce Valley fans shouting, no, 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 but Kesley saying, yeah, I got her. Yeah, she's nodding. So Stacy will go back to the line. Kesley Floyd picks up her third.
So Bryce Valley, both teams got a couple players with 3 fouls. Bryce Valley, Oakley Johnson, Kesley Floyd with 3.
Wallenstein has 3 for Rich, and then Stacy, Hatch, and Cornea, and I think Brown as well, all have 2 fouls apiece. But on the team foul count, that favors Rich. 16 fouls for Bryce Valley, Rebels with 3. First Bear Lake Realty free throw swish. Second one swished as well for Stacy. 26-18, Rich up by 8. And Stacy 6 for 6 from the line here in this third quarter. She'll get a breather to finish out the third. McKee, Staple, Cornea, Hatch, and Wallenstein on the floor for Rich. Syret, Nelson, Floyd, Brinkerhoff, and Johnson out there for Bryce Valley. Floyd dribbles left or right, stops, pivots, shoots, and can't get the shot to go, but Oakley Johnson the rebound, and she's fouled.
This possession by the Mustangs brought to you by Precise Tax and Accounting. Stone Canyon Inn, Stonehearth Grill there in Tropic Town. Re-elect Jerry Taylor for County Commissioner, and State Bank of Southern Utah.
The foul charge to Sydney Hatch, her third. Floyd dribbles in, nice pass, but Johnson misses over the top of the hoop. Staple the Rebel rebound to McKee. TJ.
Can't ask for a better assist down low or better pass into the big, and Johnson just unable to convert.
She's kicking herself right now, surely, knowing that she'd be the first to tell you she should have hit that. Syret pokes it away from Wallenstein out of bounds. Rebel basketball with 5 seconds left in the quarter. Let's see what Rich can draw up here real quick. Extra pressure from Bryce Valley. Wallenstein with the Rebels stacked up 3 deep. Into Staple. She loops around up court to the free throw line.
Got away with the carry. Nope. The other.
May have been a travel. Yeah, that's the call. The carry's only if you get your hand under the ball.
Right.
But yeah, it was a very high dribble, and it is a turnover. Into Floyd, Brinkerhoff, time runs out. And then at the end of the third quarter, Rich leads 26-18 on this My Local Radio production of Champions. Welcome back to the Sevier Valley Center and State Championship Basketball quarterfinal round. Bryce Valley attempted just 6 field goal attempts in that third quarter, made none. 2 free throws. Rebels with the basketball to start fourth quarter action. Cornea in the right corner. Picks it up and gives to Hatch. Stacy, Cornea, McKee, Hatch, and Tingy on the floor for Rich. Brinkerhoff, Rebel long, dangerous pass, tipped away out of bounds. Lucky for Rich. Johnson read that like a free safety.
You know, you talk about the free throws. Well, in that whole quarter, we had 1 free throw or field goal total for both teams combined. Rich Rebels having that 1 3-pointer by McKee.
Stacy pulls up at the free throw line, misses left side. She knew that was off and chased down the rebound, but couldn't take it away from Oakley Johnson. Johnson, Floyd, Syret, Brinkerhoff, and is that Nelson, the 5th player on the floor for Bryce Valley?
See, Bryce Valley trailing by 8. They need to get more. 6 attempts at the basket will not bring them back. They've got to get more looks at the basket than that in a quarter.
Rebels in his zone defense, and Stacy tips it, saves it, off of Nelson and out of bounds. Great hustle by McKenna Stacy. That may be a candidate for a play of the game, brought to you by Pro Physical Therapy and Dr. Dallas Clark. Proud to support the Rich Rebels. Kristen Stewart checks into the game. The Rebels sitting back in that 2-3 zone defensively, kind of saying, well, we're content. If Bryce Valley wants to run clock, we'll let them.
Yeah, trailing by 8. The clock's not the friend of the Mustangs.
Tingy to Stacy. Bryce Valley knows that. They come out high to pressure the perimeter. McKenna to the free throw line. Dishes off. Brown swatted away by Oakley Johnson. Talk about play of the game candidate.
Yeah, she planted that one in the front row of the bleachers.
Goodness gracious. What a swat by Oakley Johnson. Rebels inbound from the baseline, brought to you by the store in Evanston. Clothing and more in the store. Inbound, and McKee pulled to the ground by Johnson. It's got to be a travel or a foul, but no.
Or even a jump ball, but it had to be something because they both went to the ground with the ball. There had to be some call there.
But they don't whistle. Rebels maintain possession. McKee drives in to Brown. Kick it outside. Stacy pulls in the pass and splashes it through. McKenna Stacy with a big-time triple. 29-18, Rich up by 11. Syret left wing. Bryce Valley could use one of those. Macy Brinkerhoff into the middle. Johnson, quadruple team. She loses her footing. The Rebels bumped her to the floor, and a foul against Rich.
Still just the 4th team foul on the Rebels.
Ellie Brown, I had with 2 fouls earlier. That was her second. That's a 5th Rebel team foul. Wallentine checks into the game for Rich as Floyd looks to inbound into the middle and swatted from behind Oakley Johnson as McKenna Stacy blocked her shot from behind. Wrapped up in a jump ball. Tingy goes over to Stacy and says, nice block. Floyd to inbound from the baseline. Rebels in a man-to-man. Tingy defending Oakley Johnson. Oakley has 5 points in the game. Into Syret, right side. Pulls up and misses short. Good help defense. Syret reaches in on Wallentine, and Brooklyn will pick up her second.
And that's going to be a 1-and-1.
So that'll put Wallentine at the free throw line, a 67% free throw shooter.
Bryce Canyon Half Marathon. The event runs second Saturday in July. Come and run. Have some fun from Bryce Canyon City to Cannonville. You actually run down Highway 12 through Bryce Canyon National Park.
Boy, and you couldn't think of a better spot to, if you're going to run. I mean, I don't want to run.
Oh,
but
yeah.
if I'm going to run, you couldn't think of a better, prettier scenery. Wallentine misses the front end, won't get a second, and Floyd with the rebound. 29-18, Rich up 11. Stacy hounding Floyd. Rebels in a 2-3 zone defense. Wallentine came in averaging almost 8 points a game, has just 2 in this one.
Pick and roll to Johnson.
And she misses the shot. Brown, feet planted, drew the contact, didn't get the whistle, and Johnson missed the shot. Well, they're letting him play physically down inside today, Mike. Wallentine, Floyd tips it away, pushes up court. Wallentine trying to chase from behind, doesn't get there, but Floyd misses the layup. Stacy fouled from behind as Floyd and Kristen Stewart chase. Kristen Stewart with her first, and that'll send McKenna Stacy to the line to shoot 1-and-1. It's an 8th team foul. Stacy missed her first free throw. She's hit her last 6. Free throws brought to you by the station in Randolph. The station on Main, how convenient. Coldest drinks in town, that's the station. Stacy's free throw, back iron to the window and in. She's getting those shooters' rolls today. Rich leading by 12, 30-18. They beat Bryce Valley back in November at the 1A preview, 42-37. Stacy's second, rims around and out. Brown for the rebound. No, Oakley Johnson with position, and yeah, I think that's the right call. Brown picks up her third. She just didn't have position. Oakley Johnson did a good job of boxing out there.
Quality.
Go ahead.
Quality in Richfield. You're home away from home for the state tournament. If you're coming down, need a hotel room, check the Quality in Richfield.
Mike, Bryce Valley, 2 points in the second half on 2 free throws. They have not hit a field goal since midway through the second quarter.
Yeah, this zone is really kind of it's like a 1-2-2, 2-3, but Stacy extending way out to pick up the front guard.
Boy, Syret tried to change that, missed the 3. Stacy, the long rebound, out and running, and the ball knocked away from her from behind. She got kind of sandwiched in between a couple of Bryce Valley defenders and spun to the floor. Rebel basketball.
Full timeout on the floor.
We'll take one as well on Utah High School Sportscast production of 1A State Basketball on live.ksl.com.
Proud sponsor of this tournament, helping bring these games to you free of charge. Home to Bryce Canyon National Park. 3 state parks, 2 national recreation areas, and a national monument.
Rebels in the home whites if you're watching on live.ksl.com. Stacy splits a couple defenders, misses too wildly off the glass, but Rich keeps the rebound out to Wallenstein. 3-pointer, nope. Stacy fights for and gets the rebound up with the right hand. Got it off the window. McKenna Stacy willing the Rebels to 2 more points. Stacey.
Rebels still on the attack. You know, they're up by 12. Not satisfied, which is good for the Rebels. Still attacking the basket and getting points from on the board.
McKenna with 20 points in the ball game. 8 of 10 from the free throw line. Johnson to Brinkerhoff for 3. No, just long. That looked online, but Rebels foul on the rebound. Syret had position. That's a 7th Rebel team foul, so Syret to the line.
Brooklyn Syret, she has 1 field goal and she's made 2 free throws. Kesley Floyd checks back in for the Mustangs, and number 31 for the Rebels, Kendall Staple.
So Syret at the line, shooting 1-1. Syret 2 for 2 so far in the game, has 4 points. And can't get that, it rattles out. Kendall Staple, the Rebel rebound. Stacy, defended by Syret, picks her up at half court. McKenna dribbles behind the back, sprints forward, and then slows things down. Hatch set to check back in. Stacy spins as Syret gets in too tight on the defense, and that'll put McKenna back at the line to shoot 1-1. Free throws for Rich brought to you by Mount Valley Cattle Company, Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho, and by LSR Refrigerated and the entire Wallenstein family of Garden City. That's LSR Refrigerated.
Ruby's in, your closest accommodations to Bryce Canyon National Park. Come and make us your adventure destination at Ruby's Inn.
Stacy at the line, swishes the first one through. 9 of 11 from the free throw line for Stacy. In the season, a 71% free throw shooter. That's good. 9 of 11, that's great.
Yeah.
Stacy, another free throw. Takes her time. Rebels attacking right to left if you're tuned in on live.ksl.com or mylocalradio.com, and splashes it through. That's a Bear Lake splash, Mike. I don't know if you're aware of that.
This time of year, that'd be a cold splash.
They do that, the polar bear plunge, about this time of year. I don't participate in that. Brinkerhoff on the right baseline. Bounces into the middle. Rebels steal it. Rich County government steal. Rebels with a championship cause.
They probably do that for some bead or a ribbon or some little token that's like, no way.
Maybe if they did it for like a Crawford Trough Angus burger, the pastrami burger.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I might do it. Wallenstein mishandles the dribble, but fortunately for Rich, just dribbles it right to the feet of Kenzie Floyd, who inadvertently kicks it out of bounds. Rebels up 34-18, a 16-point lead. This is the Rebels' game to lose if they can just hold on, make it to the semifinals. The next game up, what is it, Valley and Water Canyon? Water Canyon upset Paiute yesterday on the girls' side.
That was the biggest upset of the day yesterday on the girls, for sure.
We've had a bunch of upsets on the today. Water Canyon or Whitehorse and Monument Valley both went down. Stacy drives, somehow steps around Oakley Johnson, scoops it in, gets the bounce, 36-18. Rebels doubling up Bryce Valley here in the fourth. Bryce Valley has 2 points in the second half. 2 free throws by Oakley Johnson in the third quarter. Johnson tries to make it more and does. Off the window and in, right side. Johnson, 7 points, leads the Bryce Valley Mustangs in scoring. Wallenstein up the right side, and Nelson reaches in, blocking foul. I got Nelson with 4 personal fouls. Nope, that's 3. I overcounted. So Wallenstein to the line to shoot 2. We're into the double bonus.
These free throws being brought to you by Southern Utah University, SU to everywhere. Also, RK Siret Video Service, helping bring these games to you. All of these games available on Blu-ray, DVD. $15 for the first game, $10 for each additional game. You won't find a better deal. Leave the camera home. Just come and enjoy your kid and watch him play, and then if you want the game, get it from RK Siret Video Service.
Wallenstein hit the first. Second Bear Lake Realty free throw back iron and rebound tipped around. Siret chases it down in the corner, 37-20. Rich on top by 17 with time running down, under 3 minutes to play in the fourth quarter of this quarterfinal game. Winner will go on to play either Valley or Water Canyon. The loser drops into consolation. Siret, right wing 3, got it! Bryce Valley coming alive offensively. They had not scored a field goal until the last 2 possessions, 5 points. 2:32 left to play. Timeout on the court. We'll be right back on Utah High School Sports at 98.3 FM in the Northeast Utah, Southwest Wyoming area. And we're thankful for all the listeners, all the sponsors we've got, Mike. We couldn't do it without them.
Absolutely not. We've got a lot of great sponsors. High pass. Press causes a turnover. Pass picked up by Amanda Shanoff.
That's a 10th turnover of the game for Rich. I've got Bryce Valley with 14, just a few more. Bryce Valley with a chance to climb back into this one. 2:20 to play. Brinkerhoff, right corner. Johnson's 3, blocked by McKenna Stacy. Her second block of the game, but Tingy hustling for it, loses it out of bounds. Bryce Valley basketball.
Couple great sponsors, Ryan. Savage Apparel for all your screen printing or embroidering. Give Rant Savage a call. Blackburn Propane servicing all of central and southern Utah. Garcane Energy wishing all teams success, keeping the power on when they need it the most.
Kesley Floyd looking. She's got Nelson wide open in the corner and swatted away by McKenna Stacy, her 3rd block of the game.
This inbound's brought to you by South Central Communication, the area's fastest broadband internet. Give South Central Communications a call. Experience the tournament without the buffer by signing up today for 1 gig internet.
Kesley Floyd to Siret, back to Floyd on the right wing. Wants the shot. Pivots around, good movement, but can't get the shot to go. Oakley Johnson slices in, rebounds, but the ball's stripped away as she tries to go back up, and Rich has it. Rebels up ahead. Sydney Hatch all alone, left-handed layup in there.
She caught that like she was on a corner route in stride. 2 steps, laid it up with her left hand.
That's Pat Mahomes to Tyreek Hill or something right there. On the other end, Siret splits defenders, takes the foul, draws the foul, and earns a trip to the line, stops the clock at 1:47. Sorry, go ahead.
No, these free throws being brought to you by Bullseye Pest Control, covering all of southwestern Utah. We can take care of all your pest control needs. Call Jeff today, 435-313-2855.
That foul, Sydney Hatch's 4th, and she'll take a breather. Cornea Wallenstein check back in. Siret hits the first free throw, has 1 more coming. Brooklyn 3 of 4 at the line, 8 points in the ball game. And that brings Bryce Valley to within 15. Siret's 2nd, got it to go as well. She's a smooth shooter. 39-25, Rebels up by 14 points. Stacy looking to inbound, goes to Wallenstein, over the defense, back to Stacy. No, it was deflected by Brinkerhoff. Wallenstein up ahead to McKee. TJ looks right, looks left, goes right, then Tingy across, extra pass, Cornea, easy 2. I realize Bryce Valley's in a position they have to try and do something, but the Rebels, Valley tried to do this at the preview. Press Rich, and the Rebels made them pay a 31-point win. 60 or 32, maybe 62, 61-30, the final score in that one. Floyd left.
Long 3, short and out of bounds.
41-25, Rich up by 16. Kendall Staple checks back into the game. Mackenzie Smith will get in as well for Rich, a sophomore, number 44. And McKenna Stacy high fives all the way down the bench as she heads to get a drink. 17, 18, 19, 20, 24 points for McKenna Stacy. That's 3 points off a career high. She scored 27 a couple of times in her career.
I think they just teed up number 22, Brittany Lamborn. I don't know if it's that she's in the book or if she just ran straight onto the floor.
So I get a Brooklyn Siret a couple of free throws, and then Bryce Valley the basketball. McKenna Stacy, by the way, I'll say that in a minute, is Siret at the free throw line, hits the first.
These free throws brought to you by Utah Independent Bank, full service bank in Beaver, Milford, Monroe, and Salina. Custom banking, custom ideas, custom solutions.
Siret hits both free throws, 41-27, a 14-point game with 1:14 to play. Stacy, a junior this year, eclipsed the 1,000-point mark in her career in scoring a couple weeks ago at Manila. Anyway, well above. She's got 24 points today, and the 41-27, Rebels lead with 1:14 left to play. Rich comes out with Brittany Lamborn, Amanda Schultez, Mackenzie Smith, Kendall Staple, and TJ McKee on the floor. Bryce Valley trailing by 14. Horn inadvertent. 1:12 to play. Bryce Valley left corner, and the baseline jumper doesn't go, but an offensive board. Amanda Shanoff put back, nope. Rebound tipped, and Smith has it for Rich. Bounces outside to McKee. TJ long pass ahead to Schultez. Amanda picks it up, goes inside to Lamborn. Smith at the free throw line, misses short.
Rebound. Shandy Siret with the rebound. Amanda Shanoff brings it up. Right side, Reagan Siret down to Shandy. Shandy.
Kendall Staples swatted that shot down inside. Stewart fouled.
Also on the floor for the Mustangs, Autumn Gray, number 5.
Foul charge to Mackenzie Smith, number 44. Rebels' 9th team foul puts Kristen Stewart at the line to shoot 2. Stewart, first one up and good. 13-point contest. Stewart's first point of the game. Bryce Valley just that long, about, 12-minute stretch of no points except for 2 free throws in the third quarter.
Stewart gets her own rebound, puts it back up, pulled down by the Rebels.
41-28, Rich up by 13 with 30 seconds to play. Staple ahead to Lamborn. Brittany kicks it back outside. Rebels looking to hold on for this win. Should be able to do that fairly easily. Staple, one dribble, then to TJ. McKee, couple of dribbles, kicks it left corner. Lamborn back outside. Staple, 13, 12, 11. McKee to her right. Stay tuned, our Ruby's In postgame report coming up. Staple fakes a pass right, dribbles left, and kicks it back to McKee, and the Rebel fans start to make some noise as time runs down, and the Rebels are on to the semifinals. Rich, 41, Bryce Valley, 28. The final score. Bryce Valley will drop into consolation, and the Rebels' championship hopes continue with a 41-28 win over the Bryce Valley Mustangs. Credit to Bryce Valley. Boy, fantastic defense. And we'll take a quick break. Ruby's In postgame report coming up on live.ksl.com, mylocalradio.com, and KTTA.